Hello everyone, dear participants of Vintage Materialities in Music Conference. My name is Görkem Aygün Albayrak. I was intended to join you today, but unfortunately I couldn't get the necessary visa. I live in Ankara, Turkey, and as a Turkish citizen, we need this Schengen visa to travel around Schengen countries. And I had it before, 3 times. And I have a valid UK visa on my passport, and I've been in about almost 30 countries, but still we couldn't get the visa, and I'm deeply sorry for that. But I think this is not because of me or because of us, me and my husband. This is because of the politics between Turkey and European countries and refugee problems, etc. Anyway, I'm really sorry that I couldn't participate physically, but I'm happy that I can still share my presentation and my ideas with you. So thank you, Bruno, in advance, and thank you for the technical support, Juan. So let's start. Today I'm going to talk about a vintage material, cassettes, and importance of cassettes for Turkish folk music, how it affected folk music. So why it is of interest? Cassettes are materials which are used by almost all the world. They were really popular when they first came out, and they dominated the music industry for almost 20 or 30 years. And they are pretty nostalgic nowadays. And personally, cassettes really contributed my own musical experience. Yeah, I didn't mention about it. I am dealing with Turkish folk music since I was a child. Actually, I am a civil engineer. I'm graduate of Middle East Technical University, and I've been working as a civil engineer for almost 10 years. But music was always my passion, and I work on music a lot. I had an album here. This is my traditional Turkish music album. Not cassette, but CD. I wish I had cassette. And I have a master degree in Hacettepe University Fine Arts Institute, traditional Turkish music department. So I've been dealing with music a lot. You can find my music on every digital platforms. And I'm gonna tell you about how cassettes affected my life. See the image of cassette. My presentation basically divided into 4 parts. In first part, I'm gonna talk about how did the cassettes impact in general. How did they impact on a general music market when they first came out and after that? And coming to my special topic, Turkey and Turkish music, in what ways did cassettes affect and reflect Turkish music? Did they contribute? What were the advantages or disadvantages? And how they help developing Turkish folk music? And what about today? What is the place of cassettes in Turkish folk music today and in the future? And what maybe in the future? Will they come back, or have they come back already? We don't know. And conclusions. So I want to start with how did cassettes first came out. They first came out by the Dutch electronic company Philips. The format was developed by them in 1963, and they first show it in Berlin radio show. So it was really a revolution, because the size were smaller and it were consisted of 2 little spools, miniature spools with a magnetic tape, as you all know. And compact cassettes were really convenient alternative to vinyl records. They were portable, they were easy to use, they were small and very affordable. So their appearance and being portable and convenient alternative is very liked by music enthusiasts. So they offer more accessible and user-friendly option for music performers and listeners and everybody. They were sure more durable. You know, vinyl records may be so very fragile, and they have limited durations and shorter playing times, and so they were less suitable for on-the-go music. But with cassettes, you just take it and take your music wherever you want, right? And also you can record with cassettes. That was pretty amazing. So recordability allows customization and personalization. People started to make their own tapes, you know, mixtapes. For they also give gifts like mixtapes, and as a show of love and caring. So they were really relatively used to handle and affordable, very in price. So they were widely available and accessible. So they really had a profound impact to music markets. So after 60s, in 70s and 80s, cassettes became more popular in the world and also in Turkey. And these years can be called as the rise of Turkish folk music. That times Turkey went through social and politic transformation, and the country was trying to reevaluate the cultural identity, and there was a growing appreciation for the roots and traditions that define the nation's heritage, which is very important. So folk music mostly connected to rural life. It's about storytelling, poems, daily routines, and life stories. So it was really interesting that people want to go back to their roots and try to understand them more carefully. And it was easy with cassettes, actually. So there were really influential folk music performers, and they have so many tapes, cassettes, and they were really sold out. People like to listen them. Many folk musicians and poets who were raised in tradition actually were not trained. They were raised mostly in rural areas and improvise their music and also compositions. So cassettes allow them to perform in a very authentic manner. They just think about their lyrics and musics, so they can record it easily. And performers also re-record very old songs that were anonymous. We don't know who wrote the song exactly, but in the specific regions of Turkey, many people knows that song and sing it. It can change in time, but it's basically a folk song. So they were re-recorded and actually preserved. This was very important thing. So this enabled preservation of melodies, lyrics, and help distinguishing. So listeners had the opportunity to connect with their cultural roots through these cassettes, and beyond the live performance, they can carry their own music in everywhere, at home, in cars, with personal devices. You know, Walkmans were very popular at that time. So that allowed to make comprehensive folk albums which reached millions of people. So I'm going to show you some examples of them. Well, he is Arifsa, one of the most important Turkish folk music performer. I can say he is the master of bağlama. Bağlama is these are my bağlamas. You may also know as saz, but the true name is saz means actually in general instrument, but these are bağlama, traditional Turkish music instrument, and he is the master of it. So, for example, this tape named Golden Bağlama, it only has instrumental music. He plays as virtuos. And this is a very important cassette that collected of old songs, very comprehensive old songs. One of my favorite cassettes, and I always used to listen when I was a child. My father actually has a drawer full of cassettes. He was really into music and he used to play bağlama, but now he can't. I always find some cassettes in there, and I basically started to listen music with these cassettes. They were really important to me. I tried to understand. Sometimes it's difficult because, you know, it's very it's a big literature lies in these songs, the poems, the meanings, the foreign words, mean Arabic, Persian, that kind of words. So you try to understand, you try to get the emotion, of course, very emotional music. So these are very important cassettes. And another folk music performer, Musa Eroğlu, who is also had so many cassettes and so many contributions to Turkish folk music. And a woman, I met her when I was in village again, when I was a child, and I started to listen to her. And since she was a woman, our voice were like very similar voice color, so I can sing with her easily, and I learned a lot with her. I was listening and singing at the same time, so that was really touching. And last year we had a concert in the middle of Ankara, and she also came. I mean, I had a concert, after that she came, and that was really unbelievable to me. I mean, when you were young, you were listening to her, and then you were on the stage with her. That was the power of folk music. Well, these are the people, mostly performers, not aşıks. But these periods, I mean, popularity, when the cassettes were popular, also helped to spread the aşık tradition. You may know as aşık or minstrel. They are folk poets, and they have a really tradition, and they raised in this tradition. Aşık tradition is based on folk's voice. They tell about anything related to folk, love, life, longing, being in abroad, death, advices, and also the most important thing related to aşık, I can say that they do political criticism a lot. They tell about lies, they tell us and everything, so they are really enlighten us. And aşık words come from ışık in Turkish, which means it's light. And also aşık means lover, which I find it interesting. Sustained oral transmission of knowledge and learning within the aşık tradition. Cassettes really enabled that. And aşıks had the opportunity to easily record their improvisations and performances on cassette tapes because it was really easy to handle. Now I'm going to show you some important aşıks of tradition. Here is Aşık Veysel. They also use the name Aşık before their names. So he was a blind man. He was living in Sivas, in a city of Turkey. He was blinded when he was a child, and his father his father bought his bağlama, a saz, to make him happy, you know, the blind little child, very sad situation. And he started to write poems in his mind and started to improvise and started to learn bağlama, and he became a really great artist. In Turkey, everybody knows Aşık Veysel. And another Aşık is Aşık Mahsuni Şerif. He is also very important Aşık. He has so many critics about people, politics. He was really brave, and he kept in prison because of his thoughts and everything. So these people really had redemption, and they were really important in Aşık tradition. And so their cassettes helped the oral transmission and their songs to next generations, thanks to cassettes. So what happened? The existing folk tunes, lyrics, stories and everything were re-recorded and collected in folk song albums and reached so many people. So cassettes played a significant role in preserving, which is very important. In Turkey, in every different part of Turkey, you can find a diverse music. For example, in the west side of Turkey, there's different music, rhythms and melodies and lyrics. In the east side of Turkey, you can find totally different kind of music. Or in the Black Sea region, or in the middle section of Turkey. So this is really richness of folk music. You can find it everywhere, and you know, old people just sing in their small villages among people. So, and these songs are just distinguishing. So cassettes help them preserve and prolonging. And you know, different regions of Turkey, and cassettes typically include information about the region and the performer. This is very important. When you started a cassette, play a cassette, at the beginning you can find, and now this is the song from this region, and now the blah 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 artist sings this song. So you find it and you learn it, where this song belongs and who sings it. This is very important for the listeners and, you know, enthusiasts. So you can find valuable contextual information. So throughout the 1980s and into 1990s, cassette tapes remained a popular format for music consumption, especially with Walkmans. People were really listening cassettes. But of course, eventually started to decline in popularity, and then digital formats came out, you know, MP3, CDs, with a more squeezing formats of music, not really giving the sound quality of cassettes or vinyl records, but it's easy to access, of course. But I want to tell you here that yes, we can reach whenever we want any music, right? We want to listen to a music and just open it and it's there, but we have to pay for it all the time. We should have internet to listen to this music, and or we should pay monthly or annually to Spotify, to YouTube Premium, and I don't know, any other digital platforms. We have to pay for it all the time. But with cassettes and CDs, you know, you have it, it's tangible. You have it for a lifetime. You pay it once and you can listen whenever you want without paying again. So this, we must think about it. So what about today? Well, cassettes no longer dominate the mainstream music industry, but they have a niche place and specialized formats. You know, collectors have been collecting these cassettes. These are actually expensive nowadays. I see on selling markets, these are really hard to find, and actually they serve valuable archives. Too many songs recorded on cassettes, and they may not be available in digital media. And today, researchers and enthusiasts studying Turkish folk music, as me, often rely on these vintage cassette recordings to explore and analyze old songs. My thesis was about Çorum Aşık music tradition. Çorum is a city in the middle part of Turkey, and I am from Çorum. I mean, my parents, my roots are in Çorum. And I wrote a thesis about Çorum Aşık music, and I chose 10 aşıks and 3 songs of them. So totally I had 30 songs to analyze, and I couldn't find all the songs on internet. No, not on YouTube. And I studied to analyze cassettes. Well, this is one of the aşık that I studied in my thesis. His name is Hashimi. So I really listened to these cassettes and analyzed my songs and lyrics and everything about the song. So that was really important to me, that we still have this material and it helps us a lot. So to sum up, cassette tapes had a profound impact in recording, distribution, and popularity of Turkish folk music, we can say it easily. And they provided a platform for musicians to preserve and share their music, and they also contribute to the wider accessibility in not only in rural areas but also in larger cities, and appreciation of Turkish folk music among listeners and performers and researchers and everybody. So, and they left behind a significant cultural legacy that continues to be explored and celebrated today. So they have really vital and pivoted role in Turkish folk music, we can say that. And we know the relationship between a pencil and a cassette. We try to find the place that we want to listen, and we try, rewind. So it's difficult to say that cassettes may return like vinyl records, but it won't be a surprise. The return of cassettes can be interesting for anyone who remembers to rewind an unspooled tape. So here are my references, some of my references. And thank you very much for listening me remotely. I appreciate that again. And this is the end of my lecture part, and I want to give you some examples of folk songs that are very important to me. So here is my almama. Yes. This is the smaller form, but I like it better. And normally it is played with this. I don't know its name, but I'm just using my hands, and it's a technique, of course. People just play it with only hands. C sharp. I'm gonna play a song that I used to learn when I was a child, of course from a cassette, and then I sang it in studio, and we put it on YouTube, and it reached almost more than 13 million views, which was very surprising to me. So I find it amazing that a journey of an old song from a cassette to reaching a YouTube trend video. And so I want to sing it. It's about love and breaking up, longing, missing. It's very touching. So in Turkish folk music, lyrics are very important actually. You may find the music a little bit simple, but it's also really emotional. Okay, I'm sorry. So its name is Kime kin ettin de giydin alları, very long name. And I want to sing one more song and finish my presentation. This is about friendship and trusting somebody. So it was written in 16th century by Shah Ismail. He was the member of Safavi dynasty, and he was the leader. And he was really into poems. And he wrote this poem, and somebody composed it, and this came 2 years to today. Okay. Kalkmaz mı dersin bu duman başımızdan, yali yali yali, kalkmaz mı dersin? Selman'ın carına erişen haydar, dikere yüzümüzü yali 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 yali, bakmaz mı dersin? Dikere yüzümüze yali yali yali, bakmaz mı dersin? Şahatayım eydir, senindir ferman, olursun her kulun yali 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 yali, derdine derman, olursun her kulun yali yali yali, derdine derman. Güzel şahım sana bin canım kurban, gel desem imdada yali 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 yali, gelmez mi dersin? Gel desem imdada yali yali yali, gelmez mi dersin? Well, mostly I close my eyes to feel the song and live in the lyrics and music. So I sing like that. Sorry for my closed eyes. So thank you very much for listening to me and allowing me to make my presentation remotely. I'm so happy to participate, and again, thank you Bruno, thank you Juan, and I wish I know all the participants there, but maybe next time. I don't know, dear musicians. Thank you very much for everything. Bye.